Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins. A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First carry for Royce Freeman. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Detroit! Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And this results in 6. Touchdown. It was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So now here come the Dolphins.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now let's go.
Fresh off the pick 6, it's Darnold. Looking this time for Woods, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Trying to get it to Woods. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Footing's definitely going to be an issue because it's tough to make those quick cuts that you're used to making on a soggy track. In fact, a Hall of Fame runner once told me, cut on your heels in this type of weather. Gives you better balance.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Underneath, Vanilla. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hurt down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Back to throw, Darnold. And down he'll go at the 25. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They go play action here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 19. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Rodgers. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. And they'll go on the ground. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And it's caught. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Darnold. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. And now out comes Houston. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Watch it.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And very little daylight there. They'll get a couple up to the 44. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
319!
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll take us to the end of the first quarter. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out.
That's fine. Yeah.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a handoff. That's Freeman. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Blue 90! Blue 90! Detroit! Detroit!
Darnold now to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 35. It's a big play here for the Dolphins on 3rd. 42 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
On 1st down, Darnold. And he'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Green 39! Green 39!
To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And he's going to go down again. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set. Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Gun!
Here's Darnold now on second down. Flushed out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this.
Detroit! Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a play fake here on first down. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Gun!
Here's Darnold. Over the middle, he gets it to Barrios. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And this is caught at the 8. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
Gun!
They'll run here with Freeman. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. 3rd down and goal now, and this Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop.
Set. 3-19.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Sam Darnold, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer. Gold now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here comes the Texans now. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Rodgers now on first down. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Here's a give to Miller. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They keep it with Miller on first down. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Now this time, Rodgers will throw. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. He finds an opening past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll go with the ground attack here. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Breaks. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by T.J. McDonald. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
After the interception, here's Darnold. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 33. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Looking for Woods that time. Well, why do you go out and spend a first-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that, the rookie gets his first interception.
You have to have guys who can limit the other team's number of plays run and possessions. And no better way than an interception. And what a great way to break into the league.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. It's Fleming. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. A big-time play there for the Texans. 41 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fleming. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. He's going to get it running right. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Rodgers. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Looking deep downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Lamb. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, it's Darnold. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Bernardrick McKinney in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Detroit! Detroit! Set! Green, 39!
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Darnold from the gun. And he'll be grabbed from behind and slung down like a rag doll.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at about the 14. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now a handoff to Miller. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And that'll be marked down as their 1st sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week. And this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their 1st sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded at the 2. Spins past him. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
Detroit! Detroit!
A shotgun snap for Darnold. Got him in. It's Berrios complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Second down and 10, Darnold. And now here's another interception. Picked off inside the 10. And the return will stop right around the 25. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. On the crossing route, complete. That's Fuller. A good pickup there at 22. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
58.
Rodgers looking to throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
So that one will be accepted. Here comes Rodgers now as he'll go for the 2-point conversion. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Dancing to his left.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
To throw is Darnold. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Darnold now to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Justin Reed. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. He's letting this one go for Fuller. It's caught inside the 25. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. That one looks like he'll throw here. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. 3rd and long, it's Darnold. He's going to let it fly. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Andre Howe. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Darnold on first down. Shrugs the tackle. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. One last throw now for Darnold. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Houston, they're on a nicer